So here we are. Today I'm out here in the rural gardens here in North Carolina. I got off work a little bit early today. It's about 65 degrees out here. It's the perfect day to come out here and do some fall to winter planting. Um, right now I'm surrounded by 10 Acer japonicums. This video is about my Acer japonicum collection. Now, some of you may know what that is, some of you may not. But to give you a little bit of the breakdown, Acer japonicum is a species of Japanese maple that is known to have a large round leaf. This is native to Japan. You can find these in the mountains of Japan in beautiful colors through spring and summer and especially the fall. Some of the ones that I have right now are showing some fall color right now. As a Japanese maple collector, I have certain things that I look for in all the different varieties of Japanese maples that really speak to me, and everybody has their own kind of flavor that they prefer. But Acer japonicum is something really special. It's not what you really think of when you think of Japanese maples. In most gardens, you're going to see a red upright or a weeping Japanese maple. Acer japonicums bring something very, very unique. What I have here today is I have 10 Japanese maples, Acer japonicum, and they are 9 different cultivars. And I'll just run down the line here, starting with the 2 on this side. I have 2 of these because they're just that awesome. This is Acer japonicum Indian Summer. Now, Indian Summer provides some of the most stunning fall colors I've ever seen on a Japanese maple. This will have reds, oranges, and yellows all on the same plant, all at the same time, all over the tree. It's amazing to see the variety of colors. It looks like a rainbow going on inside this plant during the fall. Absolutely amazing. Beautiful spring color too, with this chartreuse green with a nice blushing over top of that. Absolutely beautiful. Next up, we've got Acer japonicum Taki no Gawa. Now, from what I understand, Taki no Gawa is what the closest thing that you can get to what you would see just growing wild in the native mountains of Japan. Beautiful fall color, a nice rounded leaf, excellent, excellent upright, sturdy tree. Just absolutely beautiful specimen once they get out there and get established. I'm really looking forward to that one being grown here in my garden. Next up, we've got right here, we've got Acer japonicum Emmett's pumpkin. Now, the thing special about Emmett's pumpkin is kind of in the name. You get this pumpkin orange blushing over top of that green, big, round leaf, and then you get some beautiful oranges and reds in the fall. Absolutely stunning tree. Acer japonicums are just really like nothing else. Now, the next 2 I've got here is I've got an Acer japonicum Branford Beauty, and I've got an Acer japonicum Al Jutan. Now, these 2 are in that Acer japonicum family, which is known for that large round leaf, but they do that in a very unique way. They have a very large dissected leaf like you would see as in a regular lace leaf Japanese maple, but it's a dissectum in the japonicum form. Absolutely amazing. A nice, real lacy look to it. Beautiful fall colors on these as well. Now, this one here is Acer japonicum Rising Sun. Now, Acer japonicum Rising Sun gets some of the largest leaves that you can think of. I mean, these things get massive, especially in the shade, deep shade. They'll get to very large size. And as you can see, the color on this thing in the fall is absolutely stunning. Very, very good fall color on these, and just makes a beautiful upright tree. Now, here on the back, I've got another one of my favorites. This is Acer japonicum Yamakagi. Now, Yamakagi can get some very large leaves as well, very similar to the Rising Sun. Just extra large leaves, beautiful array of colors in the fall, absolutely stunning. Just gives a beautiful, large, upright tree that makes a huge statement in the landscape. Now, another one I've got back here is Acer japonicum Fairy Lights. Now, Acer japonicum Fairy Lights is probably the smallest dissectum form in that japonicum family. Absolutely beautiful, very finely dissected leaves, beautiful fall colors as you can see here. Absolutely a stunning little plant that you can fit in so many different places in your garden. Now, last but not least, this one is one that I was excited about getting. This is Acer japonicum Wild Collected. This was collected in the Shirabisu Pass in Japan and grafted to kind of replicate that beautiful native mountain japonicum that you would see in Japan. I absolutely love this tree. I'm so excited to have this in my collection. This is really cool. So I've got 10 Acer japonicums I'm going to plant out here in my garden. Now, a lot of you have asked me about planting and spacing and all of these things. So what I've done out here behind me, directly behind me, is I have a huge collection of dwarf, very small dwarf varieties of Japanese maples. And so these japonicums are going to play as the high shade for these smaller growing plants. So a lot of Japanese maples are known to be understory trees. Now in my garden here, since I don't have any large shade trees, I'm going to basically create that on a smaller scale with japonicums planted throughout my dwarf varieties out here in my landscape, and to kind of bring that high shade to come over top of the dwarf smaller varieties. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to get after it. I've got about 10 trees to plant. I'm super excited. I'll do some close-ups for you guys. I'll talk a little bit more about it. I just wanted to get on here and let you know what was going on in the rural gardens. And so let's do this. All right, so the first one to go in the ground is the Acer japonicum Taki Nogawa. Now, this one here is going to be surrounded by some really cool plants that I wanted to tell you about. So on my left is Acer palmatum koi, which is a dwarf variety from the Makawa family. Absolutely amazing little plant. And then on my right, I have another one from the Makawa family, Acer palmatum Catalina Yatsubusa. Really cool. Two little dwarfs sitting in front of the Taki Nogawa here. A little bit further back here, I've got a pixie planted nearby as well, which is going to give some nice red color, contrasting against this beautiful green in the summer and spring. And I think it's just a perfect spot to have a large upright japonicum that will kind of give some shade for these smaller Makawas around it. And I'm really looking forward to watching this one grow. All right, so I've been out here walking around trying to pick spots for all these different japonicums that I'm planting today. And the next one on my list was Acer japonicum Rising Sun. which I think is a very special plant. And so I kept thinking, I want to put this somewhere where it can just really stand on its own and have its own space. I mean, I'm sure I'll add things around it eventually, but right now I have this corner of my yard that I haven't really started planting in, and I thought, what a centerpiece this would be to have Acer japonicum rising sun right here in the corner, just filling out this space and doing its thing. I'm looking forward to getting this one in the ground and watching it grow. This is going to be a pretty nice spot, I think, for a nice japonicum to fill this gap right here in the garden. All right, so I'm continuing my planting today. I might have to speed this up a little bit or I'm going to take all evening just planting 10 trees. But I was thinking I needed a little bit of a splash of color right here in this spot. Now around me here, I've got a couple of nice dwarfs here. I've got Kunura pygmy, and then over here I've got right behind me I've got a tattoo, Acer palmatum tattoo, and then I've got a dissectum over here, which is Monticello Gardens, a nice red back there. And I was thinking from up there on my deck, I'd like to be able to look down and see a nice japonicum. So I'm going to plant here an Emmett's pumpkin, Acer japonicum Emmett's pumpkin. This is such a great little plant right here. Nice size for 1 gallon, so I'll get to watch it grow. Love the orange hue that it gets on top of that green leaf in the spring. Absolutely amazing. And then, of course, awesome fall color too. Every japonicum in my book is the reign supreme on fall color, and this one's no exception. All right, so right here in front of me, I have an Acer palmatum waterfall planted right here on the slope of my yard. Now you'll notice I'm in a different section of my garden. This is on the uh, eastern side of my house and gets some early morning sun and afternoon shade. So what I'm thinking here is I'm going to plant out several things that would look cool coming up the side of this slope. So I've got, in this area, I've got a waterfall, a chantilly lace, a Seki no Kigon, and a big one back here, Abby's Weeping. It's an Acer japonicum. I planted that a while back, not part of the group that I have now, but definitely one in my collection. But I've got right here is Acer japonicum Yamakagi. And I kept thinking that over here I've got a lot of low mounding weeping, but I didn't have a strong upright to give some vertical interest in this section of the garden. So I'm thinking Acer japonicum Yamakagi right here up on the slope. You can see the sun glowing through the leaves, look up into the tree. I think it's going to be awesome. All right, so these are the last two Acer japonicums to be planted today. We've got my pair of Indian Summers, and these are just amazing. They're so amazing, I couldn't help but get two of them. And then I was thinking, what if I had a pair of these sitting right up front here on the front sidewalk coming into the house, one on each side. Beautiful, beautiful Acer japonicum Indian Summers as standing tall right here in front of the house. I'm super excited about planting these. I think these are some of the best japonicums out there. You definitely want to get one of these in your garden. Just a little plug for who I work for. Go to mrmaple.com. Check it out. I know they've got some of the most amazing varieties of Japanese maples for sale there. You can get one today, have it shipped straight to your door. But today is all about planting my Acer japonicum collection. The last two on the list today, Indian Summer. I'm excited about this. I'm going to get these in the ground. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. There'll be more shows coming soon. more projects around the garden. I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys a little bit about my garden here in North Carolina, the Rural Gardens. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.